Prince Harry's life played out on the front pages. But behind the tabloid tales, a bigger story of lies, cover-ups and law-breaking claimed the Duke of Sussex. Today, a partial victory as the Duke won 15 of his 33 civil claims against Mirror Group newspapers.
Inside the courtroom behind me here, a judge ruled that phone hacking had been, in his words, extensive at Mirror Group newspapers between 2006 and 2011, and that Prince Harry had been a victim, awarding him over £140,000 in damages. On the verdict, Prince Harry said he had been vindicated and that it was affirming.
From California to court, Prince Harry sent these words for his lawyer, David Sherborne, to deliver.
This case is not just about hacking. It is about a systemic practice of unlawful and appalling behaviour. The court has found that Mirror Group's principal board directors, their legal department, senior executives and editors such as Piers Morgan clearly knew about or were involved in these illegal activities.
Speaking of Piers Morgan, if you cast your mind back to the 90s and noughties when he was editor of the Daily Mirror, the judge's ruling that he did know about phone hacking is significant. It's something the now presenter has repeatedly denied, including under oath at the Leveson inquiry.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence which I shall give shall be the truth.
Today, Mr Morgan delivered his own doorstep verdict.
The judgment finds there is just one article relating to the Prince, published in the Daily Mirror during my entire 9-year tenure as editor, that he thinks may have involved some unlawful information gathering. To be clear, I had then, and still have, zero knowledge of how that particular story was gathered. I've never hacked a phone or told anybody else to hack a phone.
This was a trial of milestone moments. In June, the Prince became the first senior British royal for over 100 years to appear as a witness in court. At stake was so much more than money.
The Prince Harry has taken legal action against several newspapers, but today's judgment is by far the most significant. It means a great deal to him. This is all about his crusade, as some people have called it, against the British tabloid press.
The warring words continue today as Prince Harry also shared this message via David Sherborne, who brought a touch of theatre to the pavement.
It is clear Mirror Group's persistent attempts to suggest that my claim was, to quote their counsel, fantastical, in the realms of total speculation, and there was simply no evidence at all to suggest I was hacked. Zilch, zero, nil, nada, niente, absolutely nothing. All of that was total nonsense.
Today, Mirror Group newspapers apologised unreservedly. As one trial ends, others rumble on. The Prince is still pursuing claims against the Mail and the Sun, or in his words, the mission continues.
Well, joining me now is the former editor-in-chief of The Guardian, now editor of Prospect magazine, Alan Rusbridger. First of all, a victory for Prince Harry here, no question.
No question at all, no. It was quite brave of him, I think, to take this to court because there are a lot of other cases that have just been settled and people have just taken the money and run. But I think he wanted the evidence tested and Mirror Group weren't backing down, so it's quite a significant case.
And we've known for some time, of course, the many claims surrounding Mirror Group newspapers being involved in phone hacking. Is there wider significance to today's ruling?
Well, it certainly surprised me that the hacking went on right up to and through the beginning of the Leveson inquiry. I was astonished that was happening. The British press have had so many chances to stop this kind of behaviour, dating back to a report by the Information Commissioner more than 20 years ago. And then there's the extent of concealment, destruction of evidence and lying that has gone on, not just at Mirror Group, and damages and costs that now total more than £1 billion. So I think there's a unwillingness amongst some influential newspaper groups to face up to the murky truth of the extent of what's been going on.
I mean, Mirror Group newspapers it said today, you know, that they apologised for the historical wrongdoings. The ruling, however, made clear that senior Mirror executives at the time did know, despite repeated denials, And then, of course, the former editor, Piers Morgan, also knew. Now, he's denied this for some time and denied it again today. What do you make of that?
Well, I listened very carefully to what Piers Morgan was saying. He didn't quite deny it. He denied that he had personally hacked a phone. Well, nobody would have thought that an editor would go around hacking phones. And
he said he never asked anybody else to hack a phone. That's right.
Yeah, those were his two quite narrow denials. But he didn't deny what I think was completely plain from certainly what the judge thought, which was that this was completely rife within the newsroom, and he must have known about it. I mean, the Mirror Group at the time, the Mirror newspapers were paying hundreds of thousands of pounds to private detectives every year. And it seems to me, and I think to the judge, that it was inconceivable that senior editors could not have known.
I mean, Prince Harry's legal team made it quite clear that the Prince wants criminal proceedings to begin as a result of this civil case. How likely do you think that is?
It's a difficult question to judge. I mean, there were some journalists who went to jail as a result of the inquiries into the News of the World. Whether the police have got the appetite to relaunch a big inquiry, I don't know. But it's plain that an awful lot of lies have been told to the Leveson inquiry, to the court, to the police, to the regulator, to other journalists, to MPs, to the stock exchange over the years. And, of course, Leveson 2, which was supposed to be looking into all of this, was closed down by the Conservative government in 2018. So it's not clear how else the truth of this is going to come out.
I mean, Piers Morgan obviously today, suggested that, any suggestion that he was denying these allegations incorrectly were not true. Prince Harry has said he is determined to pursue this mission to reform the tabloids. There will be people, I suppose, who will argue the whole media landscape has changed fundamentally since this happened. Is this still a valid mission? Is this still worthwhile work, if you like?
Well, I guess Prince Harry is doing the work that Leveson 2 would have done, i.e. looking into the evidence that existed of the behaviour within 2, possibly 3 newspaper groups, certainly in Harry's mind. So I think it's actually valuable that the truth comes out. Whether this sort of stuff is going on, my instinct would have been to say no, except that the evidence that's emerged during this case is that right up to and through Leveson, it still was happening. And we heard that actually in a recent case that News International settled, News UK as they're now called, involving the former Lib Dem MP Chris Huhne. We've still got Vince Cable's evidence to emerge, where it's pretty clear that the Murdoch organisation was hacking the phones of the business secretary in order to get what you might call commercial espionage. So, I think there's a lot still to come out.
Alan Rusbridger, thanks very much for talking to us this evening.